This a Batman tune. I promise you. This shit lit, cuz. This shit lit. Alright? Run that joint.
Niggas looking for the light. Me and my niggas prepared for the dog. Yeah. So we gon' get it on for the last days, nigga. You already know what it is. 140 for the rubber.
They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. It's a problem, tell them pop off. I die for I let my colors fly, boy. For a nigga take me, they'll drop dead. AR, clean them up like a mop head. Say he cool, he bad, he really so tough. They like, damn, look what he did to Billy go rough. Little bitch think she Kiki Palmer, silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't from Philly though. From the city where they say about that ribbon like petty poops. Know them niggas plotting, gotta deal with me. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with me. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made my feel the blade. Leave them all bruised, come through like a plague. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze on Run West May. Watch your step get stretched like a limousine. So my brother bring that blade back wet, that's my enemy. A little nigga, this that cold, need to talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup, I just sip it like it's grenadine. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it'll never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the best. Look, told them niggas get right or get left. UPK bad man, I been to your flesh. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead man shit. Got the rate, the power, I been the showstopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow prop. Iced out, got the drip out of David Jones lock. Know I got the plan, they say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock, I'm the one you heard about. Burn down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one west up, then I swerve out. Sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch a step, blow him out them Reeboks. We taking over, I'm sending the word out. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's one West practical, gladiator, maximal. Creep on them slow, but that Glock fire rapido. All I want is more power, more straps to blow. Ain't got excuse for no car, he gon' have to go. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it'll never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war, let's see who make it out.
I've been eating pot belly, greasy face, Glock heavy. Feed the safe, talking shit, do not tell me. I don't wanna see that hate, all that shit do not help me. I'm just trying to plead my case to the most high. Pray I see the gates. I was about to Cancun, but we just got the house instead. Covered all of their payment, and now she got the bobblehead. Looking at me like dinner, she said she about to gobble lead. Pointed beam like a pencil, and then you gotta swallow lead. Pointed beam like a pencil, and then you gotta swallow it. Pack my bag with essentials, I can't forget the hollow tip. Niggas losing they mental, and Satan come demolish it. Niggas all on they menstrual and get the whining like a bitch. Just like iron, they rust. Niggas trying, they luck. Keep it real, everybody out here lying. Save us, steady raising dead. They was out here lying, then dust. Niggas on my head, so the brotherhood is a must. Any hood, I be riding with my brothers that I trust. Know I'm good, cause they sliding with their fingers on the clutch. Money piling like I'm trying to make it stack in the rush. One west to the death, and that ain't even enough, cause I'm coming back. I ain't never done with that, going ahead and spread your lies. I'ma let you run with that, wanting me to spread the thighs. I ain't having fun with that, nigga, hell no. Now she wanna tryna chop it up like a lumberjack. Got some exes popping up, tryna run it back. Want me come and hit the hole like a running back. If the Lord take a soul, ain't no coming back. On my soul couldn't fold like 100 racks. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga.
The full Nicky on my waistline like a big nigga. No limit, I'm a tank, close game, hit different. We focus on who around, not concerned with who's missing. My boots digging, never been a house shoe. She don't like it, but she love me. I can tell when she want me. Tell, then I zip the body bag like a onesie. Dropping every day, let my feel clumsy. Through the pain, but we don't find shit funny. I know enough that I don't know shit. It's one thing I know this. Never bite the hand that feeds you, never lend a whole shit. We don't want half of the world, man, we coming for this whole but shit. In the world, I was known to pack bags like a road I'm trip. In the den with the lions, I be living this in real life. Ain't everything, but you gon' lose your soul, that's a real price. Led by a coward, I don't know what that feel like. Black on black toes to my head, I can't kill Christ.
I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Okay.
There's a king that's coming back to save our people. Now, we should be preparing ourselves for the return of our king, not stuck up in these denominations and religions that's destroying our people and destroying our nation.
So when we are in this kingdom and our brother or sister is doing wickedly in this kingdom, we must tell them, look, the world is expecting you to stay docile, to stay stupid.
That's what Christianity teaches our people. Teaches our people to hate one another and love the oppressor. Like, we'll never forgive one another for anything that another brother or sister do to us, but we'll forgive the oppressor in a heartbeat. There's something wrong with that, man.
Imagine living your life as a whole Christian your whole life, and life's good because you're a Christian and Jesus is white and everything's going great, and there's a landslide and the earth opens up and you go downstairs and you walk through this place and you see a black Jesus, man. Why is Jesus Christ black with an afro in the catacombs, man? This predates the Renaissance period.
So when you read the book of Genesis, the trees in the garden with other nations, a leaf, what does a leaf do to a tree? Cover the tree. So Adam took the covering of another nation. What's the covering of another nation? Their culture. So when the Most High saw him and said, yo, Adam, where are you, man? Where are you? Don't mean I can't find you. It means like who is this nigga? Where are you, man? I don't know you.
Okay. So the Ba al Banya Yasha'ala wa Amarath al Ham Mawa'aya Yahweh. The Ba means speak. Al, when it's joined with something, so al Banya means what? Unto, right? Excellent. So al when it's joined with something means unto. Banya means children. Yasha'ala is Israel. So unto the children of Israel.
Like if it's one thing a hoe gonna do, a hoe gonna hold. But you ain't. She can't hold if there's nobody to hold with. And the thing she said at the end, where she said, I went back and I lied to him, and he still wouldn't do it. And then she threw up her hands and she said, well, he'll just be a brother. That's what he need.
That's
brothers.
right.
If we have more brothers, hoes like her wouldn't have no outlet.
There was a man in the land of Oz, his name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
There you go, the man called Job. I think Job is what that afflicted. And that man was perfect and upright, meaning what? You can be perfect, man. Job was a man like everybody else, man. Job wasn't no angel, he didn't come from the heavens, and that man was perfect, meaning what? You can be perfect in the Bible. Being perfect is in the Bible.
Me had printers on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, know Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause the niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow.
Alright, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatham Bahashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. You know what I'm saying? We are the ISUPK, started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, under the command of commanding General Yohana, we have been waking up so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to their true history and their true culture according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Waking us up to our true, you know what I'm saying, language, our true heritage, the high holy days we should be serving, and not Christmas and Valentine's Day, which everyone's getting ready to celebrate now. Everybody's getting ready to celebrate Valentine's Day and buy their loved one a gift, which is just another pagan custom and ritual. But in the ISUPK, we keep the high holy days that were ordained for the children of Israel, the chosen people of God. And we do not follow the customs or the culture of any other, you know what I'm saying, nation, any other heathen people that is not God's chosen people. All right. Now, without further ado, this is the Lashawan Qadash class. This is where I teach brothers and sisters how to read, write, and speak biblical Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? I see we got a couple in the class. We got Daniel. All right. Shalom to the young man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. All right.
Shalom, my bro.
Shalom. Shalom. We got Kayla in the building. Shalom, princess. Yahweh Shema Alatah Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Shalom.
Most High Christ, Most High Christ. We got a couple in the comments too. Let me get to y'all. We got Nazama Na. I'm gonna go ahead and read through all the names. I'm gonna salute y'all. I do this a lot where I salute every single person. Let's read through the names first. All right, we got Raib Kwa. All right, Most High Christ. We got Adanaya. All right, Shalom. Most High Christ. Shout out to Jersey. We got King Denny, a young man, Dennis. All right, shout out Greensville, South Carolina. Who else we got? Bada bing, bada boom. We got 1 West Ground Zero, Shalom. We got young man Michael Love checking in from Cali. We got Kana, Yahawada. All right, shout out to you, shout out to your husband. All right, we got Caroline in the comments, Most High Christ, Kana. All right, cool, and that's her registry. We got Sister Marisa out of UK. All right, Shalom, sis. All right, to the sisters, Yahweh Shema Alatan Bahashem Yahweh Shai. To the brothers, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. All right, so let's get into tonight's class. So, as I like to start each class by having brothers and sisters state their registry, all right, their registry in the Hebrew. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I'm gonna put up for anyone who might not know how to state their registry, the format of how you do so. All right, so I'm gonna share the windows, share my full screen. All right, let's do this. Okay. All right, so just to start. And there's a few people that have put it in the comments. Matter of fact, I gotta do it the other way. 1 second. Let me share my screen a different way. This one. All right, so let me see. Kayla, could you start by stating your registry, Baba Kusha?
Kayla,
so Kayla, Bath Yahawada, Bath Yasha'ala. I see a couple registries in the chat. So Nazamana, Bath Yahawada, Bath Yasha'ala. All right, we got Raib Kwa, Bath Ra'alban, Bath Yasha'ala. No sign Christ. Ruben in the house. All right, let me just scroll down. We got another sister state her registry. Kana. All right, so Kana, Bath Yahawada, Bath Yasha'ala. So the way you would state your registry in Hebrew is you'd say your name. If you don't have a Hebrew name, you just say your name, your name in the will, as for now. Then you'd say ban or bath. So ban meaning son. So brothers will say ban, sisters will say bath, right? Then you'll say your tribe in Hebrew, right? If you're not sure what your tribe is in Hebrew, let me know. If you know what it is in English, I can tell you the Hebrew pronunciation, right? Then you'll say ban or bath again, goes brother or sister, Yasha'ala, which is how you'd say Israel in Hebrew. All right, so for the young man, Daniel, could you state your registry for me, Baba Kushar?
I ain't got a Hebrew name, but it's Darren. Ban. Tribe of Benjamin.
Tribe of Benjamin. Okay, tribe of Benjamin is Banyamyan in the Hebrew.
Banyanyan.
Banyamyan.
Banyamya.
Banyamyan. All right, and then okay, so you'd say I'm gonna type it in the private chat as well, just so you get the pronunciation.
Yeah,
so
Banyamyan.
All right, and then you'd say Ban.
Ban.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala. Most High in Christ. All right. So Darren, Ban Yamyan, Ban Yasha'ala. Right. So that'd be Darren, son of Benjamin, son of Israel. All right. Like for myself, it would be Ra'al Ban Yamyan. I'm also the tribe of Benjamin, Ban Yasha'ala. All right. Most High in Christ. Okay. So also hold on. We got another sister Chrissy. Chrissy Joe checking from Delaware. I shot Delaware. We got I believe that's the all right, hold on. Alawat Panya. I believe this. I don't know if this is General Kwabala Math. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatam. It's like a Barakatah. All right. So just to salute the general. All right. So like I think okay, it might have been a typo. All right, it says Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. All right, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Barakatah. So like, okay. All right, let's carry on. All right, let's go through the Hebrew alphabet. So with the Hebrew, we read the Hebrew. Okay, I'll check the message above the salute. Okay, it says, if I could, okay, the message above the salute, it says this one, Bath Banyamyan Ban Yashala. I made a mistake. I'm not sure what right, okay, for sisters. So would the sister say Bath Banyamyan Ban Yashala as opposed to Bath Yashala? Okay, son. Okay. It's the son of Israel. Okay, daughter of tribe. Okay, Khan. Okay. So as per General Kabbalah Math, he says, so for the sisters, the way you'd state your registry is then you'd say daughter of your tribe, right? And then you just say son of Israel. So in the sense that, you know what I'm saying, your tribe, whether it be Judah, Benjamin, Levi, so on and so forth, your tribe name is a son of Israel, right? Throughout the for General Kabbalah Math for the correction. Throughout the sir. All right, so daughter of your tribe, son of Israel, right? Your tribe, whether it's Yahweh, is a son of Israel, all right, so on and so forth. So Salakia, if anyone needs to make those corrections to how you state your registry, if you have it noted down, just make that correction as per General Kabbalah Math. All right, the order. But what we're going to do now is we'll go through the Hebrew alphabet. So I'll go through it now. So the way you read the Hebrew is from right to left. So you start with A. Right, so the Hebrew alphabet is A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, then Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I. Right, so you'll notice almost all these letters have an A sound, right? A, Ba, Ga, Da. The only variation would be the I, right? Everything else has an A sound. That's why the that's how it would be pronounced in the ancient. You'll notice, like in the modern Hebrew, where the Jewish man got his hands on it and made Yiddish, which is like a combination of Hebrew and whatever other European language. I think it's Russian, right? Where he added vowels to our language, because being, not of the children of Israel, being a devil, he could not understand a language without vowels, right? But our language would be just consonants pronounced with an ah sound, right? To basically connect the letters, right? Like Barak, Shalom, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh, so on and so forth. It has an ah sound, right? Aside from I, then Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. Okay. All right. So, and I can see the sisters are redoing the registration. Kana, Bath Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala, Mosa, and Christ. All right. Rab Kwa, Bath Ra'alban, Ban Yasha'ala, and Thawada. Okay. So that's the Hebrew alphabet, right? So Ah all the way through to Tha. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, what we're going to go over in this class is the Hakak prayer, right? Which means the power, right? So in ISUPK, we have a prayer where we ask the Most High for the power to do certain things. We're going to go through that prayer today. But before we do that, I want to go through some prepositions and personal pronouns that is going to be used in this prayer. So it's good for us to know, right? So the prepositions we have, preposition basically means before a word, right? So prepositions go before a root word. We have ah, which would just be shown as like the letter ah here, right? So if you see ah before a word, it means I or I am, right? A shorter way of saying anya, which means the same thing, I or I am. We have ba as a preposition, which means in, on, or with, right? Matter of fact, before I go through it, and I might be going too quick, I'm gonna have the students kind of go through it. So after ba, so ba meaning in, on, or with. The example is like ba hasham, right? Which almost gives the next preposition, right? So I'm gonna give time to for you to note these down if you don't have them already, right? But for example, ba hasham, you have ba, which means in. You have ha as a preposition, which is the next one, which means the. And then the word sham, which is a root word, means name. So ba hasham is an example of how you'd use those prepositions, right? Where you see, so the preposition wa, kayala, what does that mean? And. It means and, right? Where you see wa as a preposition, so wa before a word, it means and, or in essence, a continuation of what's being said. There is sometimes where what's following is like in opposition or contrast to what's been said before. And in that case, you'd use other connector words like but or yet, right? But the wa as a preposition means and, or essentially a continuation of the sentence, right? So it's essentially just a connecting word, right? For the young man, Darren, we have ya as a preposition. What does ya mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not too sure, my brother. It's the first time I'm seeing these like this.
No sweat. I got it on the screen right here, right? So ya as a preposition. He, right? That's correct. Yeah. No sweat. So ya as a preposition means he. An example of this would be like wa yadabar, right? Which you see a lot in the Bible for and he spake. So we have the wa meaning and, ya means he, dabar means to speak, right? So that's another example of how that would be used. Okay, so note these down as we're going through. And when we finish this, what I'm gonna go back to the Hebrew alphabet, and we'll have each of you recite the Hebrew alphabet. Okay, so if I'm going too quick as well, do let me know. All right, if you need to slow down so you can. Do you have as well a notepad and pen or pencil?
I'll go for mine right now. 1 second, bro.
Okay, no sweat. Do your thing. All right. Let me see. While the young man is doing that, Kayala, what is the preposition ka? As or like. Right, the preposition ka is as or like, right? So if you're saying something is like something, you're using a simile, right? Describing something as like this, right? You have words like, let me see. can't think of an example at the top of my head, but you'll see instances where ka is used to say, you know, in the same manner as this, or as this, or like this, right? You'll see ka used as a preposition, right? Next you have la, right? Am I still getting his pen and pad? Kayla, what does la mean as a preposition?
2 or 4.
2 or 4, right? So for example, la yasha'ala, right? Which means to Israel, right? So la used as a preposition means 2 or 4, right? You can also, you know, translate that as for Israel, right? You're saluting for Israel, you're saluting to Israel. They can use interchangeably depending on the context, right? If you're saying I have a gift for you, right? You'd use the same letter la, but in that case you'd more use the word for, right? If you're saying I'm writing a letter to you, then you'd use to. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be the same letter in Hebrew, same la, but different based on the context. If you were to translate it into English, okay. All right. So let me see. I'm gonna give a bit of time to write down and note down the prepositions. All right, and then we'll matter of fact, I might as well complete it. We'll complete the prepositions and then I'll give some time to note them down. All right, so Darren, for the letter ma, how would you what does the preposition ma mean?
Of or from.
Of or from, right? Correct. Right. So ma means of or from. Right. So you'd say like I'm trying to think of an example, right? Like the word mayam, which means water, right? You have ma, which means of or from, and yam means sea, right? So it's like of the sea or from the sea, mayam, which became the word for water, right? Just show an example of how that kind of works with the prepositions. Okay. Next we have sha. Kyla, how would we say, or what does sha mean as a preposition? Which
pertaining to.
Which or pertaining to, right? Another example is if we expand on, so we just did mayam, which essentially translates to like from the sea, right? If we expand that and we use shamayim, right, which is the word for heavens, right, or the sky or the heavens, space, so on and so forth, right? Shamayim means like pertaining to the sea, or it's like pertaining to water, right? And you'll know that the heavens, or like space, for example, it has similar properties to water, right? They call it, you have a ship to sail on the sea, you have a space ship to go into the heavens, right? There's no, gravity is different, or not gravity. There's no oxygen in space. There's no oxygen in water, so on and so forth, right? The shemayim pertaining to water, right? And then the last preposition we have is tha, right? To the young man, what does tha mean as a preposition?
Or thee or she.
Right? It means thou, thee, or in
Thou.
some context, it can mean she, right? So you'd use tha if you're saying, like a quick way of saying you, right? You'll see this a lot with like verbs, like you, if you are doing something, right? Or thou shall not do this, or thou shall not do that. You'll see that tha a lot, right? In some contexts as well, it can also be when you're talking about a woman specifically. It can be used as like to say she in a similar way. Yah is he, right? Then we have all right, so that's the prepositions. All right, so I'm gonna give some time for everybody to note these down. All right, and then let me know when you're kind of ready to move forward. Let me see. Most High Christ, I'm gonna salute the general. Most High Christ. Okay. While good night. I can't move as precise as I want to move, so like it. All right. While I believe Kyle, you'd already have these in your notes, right? So while the young man is writing these down, noting these down, could you go through? I want to see if you got the Hebrew alphabet from memory.
Say them now.
Mm-hmm.
A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, la.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Be careful. I'd say the only one is the ka, right? Be careful with not pronouncing it the same as the ka. So you have ka and you have ka, right? You want to make sure you pronounce those differently so there's distinction between the two, right? Which will be important for a word that we're going to read later on in the class, right? Which has both letters. Matter of fact, it's only those two letters, but you're going to need to distinguish or pronounce both of those letters differently. Okay. All right. So for the young man, if you just let me know once you've finished writing these down, and then we'll move forward.
I can't see the other side of the screen.
Yeah, that's to why we'll get to that in a second.
Oh yeah, so, I got this. I got the
Most High Christ. Perfect. Yeah. All right, what I want to do before moving on, I know we went through the Hebrew alphabet. The sister just recited it as well. If you're new to the class, I want you to read through the Hebrew alphabet, just to make sure you get the pronunciation down. Okay, so could I get you to read through the Hebrew alphabet from start to finish?
So ba, ja.
So that would be G, right? Ga. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my eyesight's bad enough. Wait a
Come on, no sweat. It's like in the English it would be pronounced as like you're seeing the letter G, but you wouldn't pronounce it as J. You pronounce it as G, right? Like ga.
Ga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ha.
Mm-hmm. So after ga, you said da already, right? So ha, go ahead.
Va.
So this would be like a W sound, like wa.
Wa.
Mm-hmm.
Za.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see that one there. That one's tight.
A little bit.
Cha.
Okay, so this one you're seeing the CH, but this one will be pronounced like ka.
Right?
Ka.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ta.
Mm-hmm.
Ya.
Yep.
Ka.
Mm-hmm.
La.
Mm-hmm.
Ma. Na.
Mm-hmm.
Sa.
Mm-hmm.
I.
Perfect.
Fa.
So this will be pronounced as pa.
Pa.
It might be a little small, but yeah, pa. Mm-hmm.
Pa. Taza.
Taza, perfect.
Kwa.
Mm-hmm.
Ra.
Mm-hmm.
Cha.
Sha.
Sha.
Mm-hmm.
Tha.
And tha. Perfect. All right, well done. Right, so you want to read through, I'm saying, that Hebrew alphabet. So again, so a, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. All right, well done. Okay, so I don't know, you should have the Hebrew alphabet sheet, right? I believe Captain sent it to you.
Yeah, I got it.
God, all right, Most High in Christ. Okay, what we're gonna go through now. So, this is very similar. So to those who will have this is like what I've been going through the past couple of weeks during class, where you have what's known as possessive adjectives. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab this over here because this would be good, especially since we have a new student. This would be good to get here, right? I'm gonna put this on the side, right? So we have possessive adjectives and we have personal pronouns, right? A possessive adjective describes who something belongs to, right? For example, if I was to say, this is my house, or this is our school, or this is your phone, or this is, you know, their whatever, their field, right? If I was to say those things, the way you'd say that in Hebrew, is you add these letters after a word, right? So like how prepositions was before, like wayadabar or bahasham. These possessive adjectives go after a root word. So if I were to say my house, right? So if we say the word house in Hebrew is bayath. If I was to say my house, it would be bayath ya, right? If I were to say your house, bayath ka, right? So on and so forth. So let's go through the possessive adjectives, right? So we have my, which to say my something, this belongs to me, right? You'd say the word, then ya, right? Kayala, what would you add to the end of a word to say your in the singular sense? Ka, right? Like the example I just said, to say your house, bayath ka, right? To the young man, how would you say his? Right? So this is like his father or whatever. What would you add to the end of a word?
His wa.
Wa, right? You'd add wa to the end of a word to say his. Okay. Kayla, what would you add to say her? You'd add a ha to the end of the word, right? So to say this belongs to her, you'd add the ha at the end of the word, right? To the young man, how would you say our? Right? This is our school, for example.
Nawa.
Nawa, perfect, right? The na and the wa, as you've established, right? Nawa. That's how you'd say this is our, right? It's like a shortened word or shortened version of the word anak nawa, which is how we'd say we, right?
Cool.
So let's carry on. Kayala, how would you say this is your, but in the plural sense, right? Let's do both the masculine and the feminine. How would you say it for either?
Come for the masculine, con for the feminine.
Right. So to say this is your house, or this, you know, whether it's masculine or feminine, you'd say bayath kam or bayath kan, right? Now, if it's men and women you're talking about, it was, let me start this way. If it's just men you're talking about, you use the masculine. If it's men and women, like in the school, for example, there's men and women, it defaults to the masculine. If you have only women, then you'd use the feminine, right? Does that make sense? All right, most high Christ. And then how would you say this is their, you know, house? What would you add to the end of a word to say this is theirs? To the young man.
Nah.
Right. So the masculine, if you're saying, you know, this belongs to them men, right? Those guys or the group of men and women, you'd add ma to the end of a word. And how would you say it in the feminine sense if it's only women?
Nah.
You'd add the letter na, right? Perfect. Okay. So these are the possessive adjectives, right? So you'll add these after a noun, right? Okay. So I'm going to give a little bit of time to note these down as well, and then we'll move forward. All right, just let me know when you're ready. Get this ready while we're doing that.
Yeah, already.
So, okay. So now we're going to move to personal pronouns. So this is like saying I, right? No, it's like saying me, you, him, her, us, y'all, or them, right? These again go after a root word, but in this case, it's not really going to go after like a noun. Like you wouldn't say me house. I mean, you might if you got a little twang, little patois, you can say me house. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna say me, right? If you're saying like it's more like you're saying do to me or forgive me or give me, right? So on and so forth. So what would you add to the word? Or matter of fact, what would you? Because you don't even need to necessarily. Yeah, these typically go after a word. Like you could even use the preposition la, which means to. You could just use that as an example of say to me, right? So what would you add to the end of la to say to me? We give this to Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So how would you say to me or for me? Laya, right? Perfect. You said Salaki?
Mm-hmm. Did you ask me to say two the first time?
No. I just said what would you add? All right. To the young man, what would you add to la to say to you?
Ka.
Or for you, right? So how would you say it?
Yuka.
You'd say lak.
Laka.
Right? Laka. It's like not like laka, like ka, right? Which means to you, right? Perfect. Kayala, what would you add to say him? Wa, right? So to say to him would be lawa, right? To the young man, what would you add to say her?
Laha.
Laha, right? You add a ha at the end. So it basically follows the same format as the possessive adjectives. So think instead of, it's not going to make sense in the way you'd use these words. It wouldn't make sense to say my because we're not talking about a noun, right? But where you see ya, right? It would be me. Where you see ka, like laka would be a strong example. It would be you to you, right? And we'll use these words. So we just note down the rest. We'll see how we use these later on as we breaking down the prayer for hakak, right? Which is the power, right? So I want you to write these down. I can just go through it. So for us, it would be nawa, right? For y'all, it would be kam in the masculine sense. In the feminine sense, it would be kan, right? If I'm saying I'm writing this letter for y'all, I'm giving this money to y'all, right? If it's masculine, you'd use kam or like lakam or lakan, right? If it's them, right? Give the truth to them, right? It would be laham, right? If it's to them in the feminine sense, lahan, right? Now there's some senses where you don't add the han, you just add, it's like you don't add the ham, you just add the ma, right? For example, let me see. If you're saying like give them, the word for give is nathan. So you could just say nathanam, right? You just add the ma part because it almost makes that ham sound anyway, right? Nathanham or nathanam. You're almost saying the ham already. So you just add the ma, and the way the way I like to write it to show it's to say them is you do like the way I do it. Okay. Matter of fact, I'll show you as we read through the verse, right? But there's instances where you just add the ma and you just add the na to say them, right? And we'll get through the example when we read through it. So again, just let me know once we've written these notes, and then we'll go through breaking down the prayer for the power.
I'm done still.
You good to go? All right. And I believe Kyle, you already have these down, right? Good to go. All right, no sweat. So, all right. So now we're gonna break down the It's almost redundant saying the hakak, right? Because even the word hakak or the phrase hakak, right? It means the power, right? So ha as a preposition means the, as we went through earlier. Kak means power, right? Power, strength, might, so on and so forth. You know, when it comes to Hebrew words, there's not always one specific translation, right? It might be a group of words that are in a similar vein, right? So strength, might, power is kak, okay? So let's go through translating. All right, the first one I'm gonna give to Kayala. So you can, if you want to read it from the Hebrew letters, as you're familiar, read it from the Hebrew. If you're less familiar with the Hebrew, I've put the Hebrew in the English letters for like how we pronounce it on the left-hand side, so it can help you if you struggle with to read the Hebrew letters. But the first word, how would you say it, and what does it mean?
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The Lord's name.
The Lord's name, right? So Yahweh is the Lord's name, the Most High God, right? So I've just put God. You could put the Lord, the Most High. Either of those things are correct, right? Yahweh is, you know how people say Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? There's no E in the Hebrew. His name in the Hebrew would be Yahweh, right? Okay, for the next one, to the young man, how would we pronounce this phrase?
Bahasham.
Bahasham, perfect, right? Bahasham. And do you have an idea of what Bahasham means? I think I mentioned it earlier, but you might. I don't know if you remember or not.
No, I don't.
Okay. So what does ba mean as a preposition?
Ba, in, on, or with.
In, on, or with. In this context, we're going to use in, right? So ba, in. What does ha mean as a preposition?
The,
right? So we have in, and then the word sham. Do you know what the word sham means before I give it to someone else? Just in case you might know.
No.
Okay, Kyla, what does the word sham mean?
Name.
Name. All right, the word sham means name. So Bahasham means in the name. Right? In the name. In the in the name, right? In the reputation, right? So on and so forth. Okay. So Yahweh, which is the Most High, God, the Lord, however you want to write it. Bahasham, in the name. Okay. Then Kayala, how would we say the next word, and what does it mean?
Yahushai. Christ.
Yahushai, which is Christ, right? So Yahushai is how you'd say Christ's name in the Hebrew, right? Like they say Jesus, his name in the Hebrew would be Yahushai, which translates to like he saves, right? Or he is a savior, right? Now in the Hebrew, sometimes it doesn't always write the word or use the preposition of. Like for example, when we did the what's the registration, right? You said your name, ban, your tribe, but it would be translated as son of. For us brothers, it would be son of Benjamin, right? We're both Benjamites, but there's no specific word used there for of, right? So sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you just get it based on the context, right? In the name Christ, you say it in English as in the name of Christ, right? Let's get the next word. All right, so back to the young man. How would you say this word, and break down as much as you can of what it means?
Ba. I can't pronounce that. I can't.
No sweat. Let me zoom in a little bit because I know it might be small. All right, so just go through it letter by letter.
Yeah, you just zoomed out the English version.
Okay. Oh, Slacky, you reading it from here? No sweat.
Ba. Kwasha.
So it would be like Bakwasha, right? The second part here. Right? So this represents a sha and a ha, right? Like if you look over here, the letters are ba, kwa, sha, and a ha. Now you'll notice under the ancient Hebrew, it has these markers underneath it. These signify whether you pronounce the full letter. So where you see the arch like this or like the N shape, you pronounce the full letter. Where you see this U, which is basically or the upside down arch, it's joining these two letters, right? So instead of saying ba kwa shaha, the sha and the ha join together just to make sha, right? The same with baha sham, right? The sha and the ma join together. The A drops off from the ma, and you just say sham, right? It just ends like that. The same with Yahawa Shai, right? These two letters join, okay? So ba bakwasha, right? So what does the ba mean? So this is again a preposition.
Ba means in.
So in, as you had before, in, on, or with. Again, we're going to use in as the context here, right?
Yeah.
And then the word bakwasha. You might not know this word. So Kyla, what does bakwasha mean? Request, right? So ba bakwasha, or you just say it together, right? Ba bakwasha means in request. It's how we in Hebrew would say please, right? You're asking for something, right? So if you're around the brother and you'll say, can you do this, Baba Kwasha? You'll hear that a lot. It means in request. It's how we say please, right? Okay. Then Kayala, let's get the next one. Nathan Lanawa. I'm trying to get both. So it's so like let me zoom out a little bit. All right, Nathan Lanawa. Right? Nathan Lanawa, perfect. And do you know the breakdown on this? How would you break this down?
Give to us.
Give to us, perfect. So the word Nathan means to give, right? Then you have la, which usually, so it's like a preposition, but it's within a word. It's before this part. So this would all be together as one, I say one word, but really one phrase. It's all joined together. I've put some splits in just to kind of separate what each part means, right? So we have a Nathan, which means give, la, which is used as the same way as the preposition, meaning to, right? Or for. In this context, we're going to use to. And then nawa at the end, as we learned earlier, as a personal pronoun means us, right? So this would be give to us, right? Or give unto us. Same thing, okay? So give to us, okay? And then the next, so this is the same word. It's repeated twice, but in like different sentences. It's the end of the first sentence, beginning of the second sentence. So to the young man, how would you say this word?
Ha.
Kasha. So with this last letter, with this the CH in like the English, you pronounce it as a k sound, right?
Ka.
So it'd be like kach, right? Like kach. Okay.
Ka.
So ha kach, right?
Ka.
Which is the same as the title. Do you remember what this means? So ha means what?
Ha. The.
Well done. All right. And do you remember from before what kak means?
Kak means as or like.
So that would be ka as a preposition. But this is a word. So this is separate from prepositions. This is a word kak. There were three words I gave earlier to what it means. I think you said your would be kam. So that would be a ka and a ma. But this is nothing to do with the prepositions, the pronouns, or anything. I just
not
the word earlier in the title.
It's the first time I'm seeing it. It was the first time I'm seeing it, so you have to kind of bear with me still, big man.
Yeah, can. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. You know, if you don't know,
I
just say.
know about it. I don't know it. I don't know. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. No sweat. No sweat. So, Kyla, what does this word mean? Now, I asked Kyla because you know she's been in the classes a good time. As you come to more and more classes, you'll just pick up the
Sure.
vocabulary generally.
Sure.
Right, Kyla, do you know what this word means?
The power.
Power, right? So kak means power, like I went through earlier, right? Hakak right here. This is the title of this prayer, right?
Okay.
So hakak, the word kak means power, the strength, the might, right? So we're asking for the power. So what we've read so far is Yahweh in the name of Christ, or God, Lord, in the name of Christ, please, or in request, give to us the power. Then the power, and then we have this next part. So Kyla, could you read this and translate it?
La Rapa'a.
La Rapa'a, which means what?
Rapa'a is heal.
Rapa'a is heal, right? So what? Go ahead.
To heal.
To heal. Perfect. Right? So la we've used as the preposition, meaning to or for. Again, in this context, we're going to use to. And the word rapa'a means heal. Right? So la rapa'a means to heal. So we're asking for the power to heal. Right? Okay. Let's get the, or if I'm going too fast and you're still writing down, what I would recommend everybody write down as like a minimum is the Hebrew and the English letters, the Hebrew in the ancient Hebrew, and the English translation. So you can do it like Yahweh means God or the Lord, and then write at the very least the ancient Hebrew. I'm not too worried about the modern Hebrew. I've just added that for anybody who wants to have both. It's good to have both because as you read in Hebrew, in like, you know, for a Sabbath service, or you're reading the Blue Letter Bible, you're studying by yourself, you'll be seeing this Hebrew a lot. But you want to basically see this or read this, but see this. You translate each word. So this is Yah in the modern Hebrew. This is Ha in the modern Hebrew. This is Wa, and this is Ha. But for anybody who's new to class, I wouldn't worry about this at all. Just completely ignore the blue. Just get the Hebrew and English letters, the translation, and the ancient Hebrew with the connectors as well. Okay. So as you're noting that down, that's what I want you to do. Okay. So is everybody, are we caught up to where we're up? Is that what everyone was doing? Or, you know, if you don't already have it in the notes, or do I need to give some time to kind of allow to write this down?
1 second. I'm just writing.
There we go. So
yeah, sure, got that.
Good to go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, if you could give us or try and read through the next phrase. So
what are we up to? Kal. Makala.
Perfect. Well done. Right. So Kal Makala. Right. Excellent. So this will be two words you're not familiar with. So I'm gonna ask Kyla if she knows what these words mean. It's like it. All right. So Kal Makala. Do you have an idea what that means, Kyla? So let's start with Kal. What does Kal mean? All, right? Kal means all, every, or any. It basically means everything of the category that's about to follow, right? Everything within that category. Okay. Then we have the word makala. Do you know what the word makala means? Sickness, right? Correct. So makala means sickness. And you'll kind of remember it as you just even recite the Hakak prayer, right? Kal makala means all sickness. Okay, so that's how it splits. Kal means all, makala means sickness. Okay, so I'm gonna give a second to write this word down.
Okay.
And then when you finish, young man, when you finish this word, you can move on to the next. This is you reading the next one.
Ka. I can't pronounce it.
No sweat. So let me zoom in a little bit because it might be small, right? So I know you reading from the English letters, right?
Yeah.
So we at this one right here.
Oh, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Wa, ka, ma,
Okay, it's like
dawa.
Madawa, right? Okay, so wa, kal, madawa.
Madawa.
Right? Wa kal, madawa. Right?
Kal, madawa.
And this phrase, so what does the wa mean as a preposition? Like we did earlier. Let me just stay zoomed in.
It's him.
So in would be ba.
Okay. Premonition. As or like.
So that would be ka.
Oh wow. And
Perfect. Right. So wa as a preposition means and. Right. So we asked for power to heal all sickness, and then we have kal. What does kal mean, as we just went through? To give a hint, it's in the previous word or the previous phrase.
Sickness.
Not sickness.
All.
All, right?
Yeah,
so
all.
Kal makala means all sickness, right?
Okay.
And all, then we have madawa. Kayala, do you know what the word madawa means? Disease, right? Diseases, right? So we've asked for the power to heal all sickness, all sicknesses, and all diseases, right? Wakal madawa. Okay, so let me put the make sure both is on the screen as you make your notes. I wonder if there's a way I can. Oh, I can do it. That is perfect. Exactly what I need. All right, so Wakal Madawa. Okay. Let me see. Where's the all right, sweet. Also, Shalom. I see a couple people. We got Sister Kala Yaquar. All right, Shalom, sis. We got Chavez, Unlimited Officer, Unlimited Office. All right, Shalom. We got Officer Madaba, Shalom Madawan, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. We got the sister Kwamai Da, Shalom sis, Shalom. All right, we got she's put her registry. All right, so Kwamai Da, Bafi Hawala, and she's put Bafi Allah. Right, so General Kabbalah Math actually noted earlier that the way sisters will state their registry is the beginning part is the same. So Kwamai Da, Bafi Hawada, but the latter part, even though you're a sister, you'd still say Ban Yasha'ala. And what that basically signifies is your tribe, right? Judah is still a son of Israel. So you'd say Kwamai Da, daughter of Judah, the son of Israel, right? So that's how you say you state your registry. So you'd state it as Kwamai Da, Bath Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala. All right, so I've made that correction going forward. Okay. We also have Sister Ra'aya. All right. Shalom, sis. Shout out to yourself. Shout out to your husband, Mataza'a, Quara. All right. Yahaba Shema Shabakatam, Yahabatha, and Yahashmala Dabashmi Shai. Okay. All right. So we have all the power to heal all sickness and all disease. I'm gonna just release this word since we've been through it already. Hakak. What does hakak mean? You can tell me. Go ahead.
The power.
The power, right? Hakak means the power. Well done. Okay. And let's get the next phrase. All right, Kaila.
Latahar.
Latahar. Okay, what does latahar mean?
To cleanse.
To clean, to clean or cleanse. That's perfect, right? Tahar means to clean, or you could use it as to cleanse. That's absolutely perfect, right? Of course, we have la as the preposition meaning to. Tahar is clean or cleanse. To purify is the same thing. Tahar. Okay, perfect. All right, and then to the young man, whenever you're ready to go through the next word, just go ahead and go through it.
Ha mata zari yam.
Very good, right? So you pronounce this as ha, which is perfect, and then matazarai, right? Wherever you see this I, remember there's no e, u, eh. It would be pronounced as I, right? So matazarayam. All right, that's perfect.
Matazarayam.
Matazarayam. Okay. And to the young man, so we have ha as a preposition. What does that mean? The. Perfect, right? So ha means the. And then we have matazarayam. Okay. Khayala, do you know what matazarayam is? If you're not sure, just let me know. The lepers, right? Right, well done. All right, I can even show this word over here. Like we're searching for matazarai, right? So hold on. Man, whatever. Good night. Just let me hold on. Let me get this out. All right, just disable, pause. All right, and let me on now. Right, so we have God damn. Just reject all. All right, so when you search matazarai, you come up with tazarai, right? Which means to be struck with leprosy or to be leprous. Then we have ma, so matazarai. What does the preposition ma mean, Kyla? Of or from, right? So we have like of leprosy, right? So that word would mean the lepers, right? The lepers, those that have leprosy, those that are of leprosy, right? If that makes sense. Okay. Then you have yam at the end. And what does yam mean? What does yam do?
It's more than one.
It makes it plural. So you'll see two main ways to pluralize, and it's usually masculine or feminine, right? If the word is masculine, you'd use yam to pluralize it, right? So matazarai yam. If the word is feminine, you'll see wath to pluralize it. So there's those two versions. We'll see a version of wath later on, right? It's just to show you yam is the plural if it's masculine. All right, so ha matazarayim is the lepers. Now again, all these like phrases would be put together as one. I've just kind of split it up into almost each part. So ha, the, matazarai is leper, yam pluralizes matazarai. So the lepers. Okay. Then we have hakak again. What does hakak mean? Get this to the young man. All right, so the word, it's like he might have disconnected. Hold on. I think he's jumping back in. It's taking a sec. That's why I'm give him a little bit of time to jump back in. Let me do this. Okay. All right, no sweat. I think you might be having a little bit of trouble, so I'm gonna move forward, right? Hakak. What does hakak mean, Kayla? The power, right? Well done. All right. Also, as we're going through it, if anybody in the comments as well, so I like to always have these classes interactive, right? So if anyone is in the comments and you know the answer, by all means, put the answer in the chat. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's get this next word. So, who read last? It was the brother that read Hamas has a rhyme, right? Okay, Kayla, let's get the next word.
To raise.
I mean, you just went and translated it before I even read that. You right? True. Lahakoyam, right? Perfect. Right? Lahakoyam, which means to raise. Right? So we have. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You probably can't break down the word.
No, go ahead.
The kwa and the ma aren't together. What is the ya doing in between? Because it's kwam, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's hakoyam.
Yeah. So the word kwam means to rise, right? When you had I need to do it as the other ma at the end of the word. Matter of fact, it might be on it. I might have to enter it as much as I hate to. Might have to enter it this way, right? But the word is kwam. Okay. Adding the ya in the middle. Why is this not even showing up? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Oh, I did it wrong again. All right. Third time is the charm. All right, so right here, okay, kwam. So the word kwam means to rise, to arise, to stand, so on and so forth, right? Now, when it comes to verbs, right, you have, like, if you was to add wa in the middle of kwam, go ahead.
If you're showing the Bible.
Oh, right. It's like the water. Right, so let me show over here. Okay, so kwam means to arise, to stand, establish, so on and so forth. Right, in its simplest form, it means to rise. Right, now if you was to add wa in the middle of the word, like it shows here, but this is something the oppressor added. Right, the word is kwam, but if you add wa in the middle, what does it become?
Kwam.
Mm-hmm. So adding wa in between the first and second letter of a verb.
Like present tense, like it's happening right now.
Exactly. Present tense, meaning rising, right? Or rising. It's just think of it almost the simplest form is adding an ing to the word, right? Making it present tense. If you add a ya is what's known as the causative, right? So you're causing something to rise, right? So that's why it's added the ya here, right? Kwayam, right? And then the ha here is like saying the. It's you see it you see a lot of times where it's not necessarily the word the, but like signifying the action, right? So to, and then really just focus on the kwayam, which would be to raise, to cause to raise, right? So that would be, as you said, to raise, right? So it's not us ourselves rising. We're not asking for the power to get up out of bed in the morning. We're asking for the power to cause something else to rise, right? Okay. Let's see. Is he almost okay? He's still. It's like I meant to share this tab again. I forget that y'all can't see exactly what I'm seeing. All right. So la hakoyam, to raise, right? So la meaning to, ha is there, almost like a. You see it sometimes where ha is put. Now we know ha means the, but you don't always need to say the, right? The focus here is kwayam. Just think of it like the action of raising, right? To the raising, right? You can almost say like that. To the power, to the ability to cause to raise. I don't want to add too many words, but the high, you don't always need to read that for it to make sense. It's the, right? So lahakwayam, to raise, to cause to raise, right? Then we have the next words. Like I was almost gonna read it. Go ahead, Kyla.
Hamathium.
Hamathium. All right. Go ahead, break it down.
The dead.
The dead, right? So we have break it down part by part.
Ha is the.
Mm-hmm.
Math is the word that means like to be dead or like dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yam is making it plural.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So ha is the. Math is this word over here. Right. So if I share the screen, as I forgot to do last time, right, it shows us mawath here, but the word is math. Right. Again, that's why some of the oppressor added. Right. So math means to die, to kill, or to be dead. Right. That's as a verb. Now, of course, if you have math as a noun, it would just be the dead. Right. I'm trying to see if I can find a version. Hold on. Right here, it shows us the verb here. What is there one that's like the noun? No soundless. No sweat. But you can obviously picture, what I'm saying, the verb to die or to cause to die is math. If you're using this as a noun, it would be the dead, right? And those who have been caused to die. You can think of it that way, right? And then yam pluralizes it, right? Then we have hakak again, which means
the power.
All right, so the power, right? So we've asked for the power to heal all sickness and all disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead. Now we're asking for the power. Slack here. Need to share this screen. I always forget. My apologies. All right, so hold on. So I'm gonna ask the question. Ha matazarayim, is the yam for males only or incorporates male and female? It would incorporate male and female. It's like if the word itself is a masculine word, right? You'd use yam. So it's not necessarily focused on like we're only raising the male lepers. It's just that the word for leper or leprosy is a masculine word, right? So you'd use yam to pluralize it. Okay, if that makes sense. But yeah, it would incorporate anybody who's a leper, right? Okay. Yeah. So as I just said, so now we're asking the power. Let's get the next word. Isle, which means what?
Over.
On. Exactly.
Against.
Exactly. Right. So on, over, against, upon, so on and so forth. Right. So in this context, we're going to use the word over. Right. The power over. All right. Let's get the next word. Rakawath, right? So it's like the ra and the wa connected. Ra, ka. So raka is the root word, and then wath. What does raka mean?
Spirit.
Means spirit. What else could it mean, based on a recent class? The definition here is, of course, going to be spirit, but
breath or wind.
Exactly, right? Well done. All right, so this is always good to have the Hebrew notes, right? So if I can show you over here, Rakah means spirit, wind, or breath, right? In this context, we're going to use spirit. So like this is like when we went over the weather class, right? The word for wind, or to say it's windy, you'd use the word rakah to signify wind, right? But in this context, we're talking about, we're not asking for the power over wind or the power over breath. We're asking for the power over spirits, a certain type of spirits. So, Kyla, let's get the next phrase. Tama Allah. No sweat, go ahead. Break it down for me.
Ha is the, and is it tama? Like the root word is tama or tama?
The root word, let me look it up. The root word is tama'a.
And it means to be unclean.
Right. So tama'a means unclean, like as in to be unclean, or if something is unclean. Right. So tama'a, and I can show you over here. Right. Tama'a is an adjective, right? Meaning unclean, defiled, polluted. You know what I'm saying? Something that's unclean. Right. So ha tama'ala. In this context, I'm not sure what the la is added for. I'll be honest. I can't teach something I don't know, right? But the root word here is tama'a, right? Meaning unclean. Okay, so ha tama'ala would be the unclean, right? So the way, let's see in the comments, hold on. I believe this was for the power. I mean, hakak. Hakak means the power, right? Correct. Okay, so you need to share back this screen. All right, so hatama'a or hatama'ala, as we have here, is the unclean. So when it comes to Hebrew with adjectives, right, describing words, the adjective goes after the noun. So it goes after the thing. So instead of saying hatama'ala rakawath, right, like the unclean spirits, you say the spirits unclean, right? Rakawath hatama'ala, right? Just think of it as like the spirits which is unclean, right? Or you'd say the house which is brick, right? You'd have the adjective after the noun in Hebrew. Okay, let's carry on.
La garashan.
So la garashan.
La is two. And garashan.
So the root here is garash. So it'd be like garashan.
To cast out.
To cast out, right? Of course, you can almost just think of as you're going through the prayer, the power over unclean spirits to cast out. As you thinking of it, this is laying it out right here, right? So I can show. Let me remove this. So to cast them out, right? And you can see this is the word right here, garash, right? The root word garash, which means to a thing thrust, right? To thrust something out or to thrust forth, right? To cast out something. You can see this word, the word origin, to drive out, to expel. This would be more the word you're looking for. To drive out, to expel, to cast out, right? Cast out unclean spirits. And then we have, if we go back over here, it's not just la garash, it's la garashan. And what does this an part mean? Right? So this would be, as you see, look in the Hebrew, the na added to the end of a word. What did we establish that meant earlier?
They, them.
Them, right? So we're looking at this one here, right? So you'll see where you have han or na. This means them, right? So that was the example. La garashan. You add the na, and it becomes connected now to the sha, right? So you don't say la garashna, you'll just say la garash. It's almost just think la garash han, right? But you can just add the na, la garashan, okay? And that would be to cast them out. Now, why is it used the feminine version? Why is it not said la garasham instead? You could tell me.
is the word spirit a feminine word?
It is, right? So that's and that. How do you know it's a feminine word?
Because it's wath instead of young.
Exactly. It's pluralized by saying wath, right? So you know it's a feminine word. I can show you. We get the word back in the over here, right? Rakha. This word is a feminine noun, right? So that's why it's rakawath to pluralize. And then if we're saying to cast them out, the thing we're talking about, the subject is feminine. So we'd use the na at the end, la garashan or la garashan is how you'd more pronounce it. La, preposition, garash, noun, and them, to cast them out. Okay? And then the rest is fairly straightforward. Go ahead, break it down for me, Kayla.
Bahasham, which is in the name.
Go ahead.
Yahweh Shai, which is the name of Christ. Thawada.
Right, or thawada. We pronounce this word more thawada. Just think wherever you see this word, I know we typically, or it's kind of common to hear it said as thawada, right? But it's like, think Yahawada. Yahawada comes from the word Yahweh and thawada, right? So the same way you say Yahawada, you'd say thawada, right? Thawada. Which I think it even makes sense with the lettering. So tha, again, if you read it like here, right? Thawada. Thawada is how you'd more pronounce it. Right? I know I'm guilty of doing the same thing. I say thawada all the time, right? But if you want to pronounce it properly, it'll be more thawada. Okay? And what does thawada mean?
Thanks, like to give thanks or praise.
Exactly. So, like, it's how we'd say thank you. Go ahead.
And Aman is so be it.
Exactly. Aman is so be it. Or like we established, it was like last week we saw this word, right? Let me get it over here in the Bible Hub, right? Aman is like to confirm or to support, right? Or also truly, right? It's like saying the phrase so be it, right? It is this. I confirm, I support, right? Supporting what you said, right? So be it is how we use it. Okay. All right. So Aman. All right. And that is the Hakak. All right. The prayer for the power. Okay. Of course, if there's any questions, I'll get to them. All right. I'll just put them in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. All right. Shalom Yahweh Shema Lataba Hashem Yahweh Shai to the sister Kaya Bath from MD. What's MD? Do you recognize that, Kayla? La. No, sorry. All right. Shout out to Zapawan, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. All right. Okay. All right. So that's the prayer for Hakak. Go ahead.
We can say the whole phrase, the prayer for the power, right? I feel like I should know the word for prayer or to pray.
Let me find it. I do remember looking up this word. Let me see if I can find the word specifically for prayer. Let me see. Thapal. That sounds familiar. Thapal or Thapala. Hold on. Let me find it. I'm gonna look in the blue letter. It's a little bit easier for me to MD is Maryland. All right, shout out to Maryland. All right. Okay. Prayer. Let's find it here. Thapala, right? And this is a noun. Okay, so this is a thing. All right, so Thapala, right? So let's write out the phrase, the prayer for the power. Okay. Let me just do it like this. So, God damn. Let me make this a little smaller, less bold. All right, so if Thapala, sorry, I need to be sharing this tab. If Thapala is prayer, to say the prayer, let me just type this out for a second. The prayer for the power. Do underneath 6 space. All right, so how would we, if prayer is Thapala, how would we say the prayer? Ha Thapala, exactly. Right, let me.
So, are
Go
you
ahead.
saying I or ow? Like, is it a hard again or an L?
Is the
Thapala or Thapala?
Thapala. It's a ha at the end. Right, let me find the word back. Right, so over here, so tha, pa, la, and a ha. Right, comes from the word palau, so tha, pa, la. Okay, let's go back over here. So ha, tha, pa, la. Right, the prayer, and then to say for the power. How would you say that?
Mahaka.
Not ma,
La.
la. Right, la, ha, kak. It's like it. And what we just said is the prayer for the power. So you could even split this la hakak, right? The prayer for the power. Or you could say, if you was to say like the prayer, no, I wouldn't really say the prayer of the power. I'd say more the prayer for the power. We're requesting for the power to heal sicknesses, heal diseases, cleanse lepers, so on and so forth. So the prayer for the power. Okay, so if you want to write out that phrase, as Kyla suggested, it'll be ha thapala la hakak. Right, and you can take ha thapala for anything. The prayer for our loved ones, ha thapala, when our loved ones. I'm not gonna translate it right now. I could if you want me to, but it could be for another class, right? It'd probably be like, matter of fact, now I'm thinking about it. So let's see how I would say it. To say love or beloved, let me see. It's the word ahab. So let me see. If I look over here, loved. I wonder if the phrase loved ones. Let me look at that first. Okay, no, it's not there. So loved, right? Beloved, you'd use like ahab, right? So to say our loved ones. Let me see if there's a, because you'd need to like pluralize it and then also add nawa to say our, right? So let me see if there's a precedent for that. It'd probably be like ahab wath nawa. Is the word feminine? So verb. I think with verbs, or with the previous verbs, they've all been kind of masculine. So let me just see if I can find a case of plural. Tha-ahabwa, okay. Tha-ahabwan, this is like a name. Imperative. Where's is there no plural version? I'm curious. I do want to see. I don't see a plural version though. Let me whip up Google Translate. I want to see if just run it by an example to see if this would make sense. So let me show you the screen. So if we do ahabium, where's the ahab? So loved, ahabium, loves, right? So that makes sense for plural. What if I do ahabwath? So let me see if that's a thing. Okay, that does it too. See dictionary. Love, affection. Okay. I think we do ahabiyam, right? Especially if we're talking about it. It probably depends on who we're talking about, right? If it's a verb, and the love is the person who you're talking about is a male, you'd probably use masculine, right? If we talk about our loved ones, which include men and women, then we'd use yam, right? So ahabyam nawa was the wa. And what would that translate to? Close this. Ahabyam nawa. No, we loved it. That's not what I'm trying to say. If I do this, does this do it? Right. It does it like this, right? So it's like ahabyam, and this ma signifies that the word is closed, right? It's not we doing something. Ahabyam nawa. Or what? This is hold on. Our loves. Yeah, I would do it as I would imagine it's like ahabyam nawa. All right, so if we was to do the prayer for our loved ones. Our loved ones. So ha thapala, and then la, ahabyam nawa. Right. So for loved or loved ones, right? So ahab meaning love, pluralizing it like we did with hamathium, right? So you could even ahabyam, loved ones, hamathium, dead ones, the dead, right? Or like we did what was the other example? Matazarayam, lepers, right? Leprous ones. Okay, and then nawa, so our loved ones. All right, so that's another, I guess, example of how you say that, and you can take that anywhere. Let me not give another example before I go through that rabbit hole as well. So let me see this question. So, like, sir, could you write that in the ancient and Assyrian Hebrew? Okay, with the ancient and Assyrian, I can't easily like just write it. I would typically not on here. It would take me a while to do. So I can do it in the modern Hebrew pretty quickly. I could just do that over here, right? So for example, hathapala, just like here. Sometimes I spell out the word and it's like a keyboard where certain letters just signify the different Hebrew letters. So thapala, then la ha kak, right? So hathapala la hakak. This is how you'd say. I need to get a screenshot actually. Right, and then you could just take, if you have the Hebrew letters, the ancient Hebrew, you can write it out in those letters. You know what I'm saying? You definitely, if you definitely want to be able to just convert this Hebrew into the paleo, right? So that's the prayer for the power. The second one, so ha thapala. Oh, so like I need to show on the screen, right? We have it over here. And then if I also do for our loved ones, we have la, ahab, yam. With the ma, it's like it's not the end of a word, but it is, but it's not. So I would just leave it as that one. La now, la ahabyam now. Okay. Print screen. Let's do a little screenshot and paste it over here. So the prayer for our loved ones, right? If anyone wants to like take a screenshot of that, you certainly can. If I can, oh yeah, do this. Okay, the prayer for the power, the prayer for our loved ones. Okay. Let's see if there's any other. Okay, good to go. All right. So that's the end of that. How long we go there? We'll go about 20 minutes. We'll go through some vocabulary. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen and then share it again. Let's do share screen. Okay. I need to get the interlinear. Go back. Strong establishment. Wise. Go back. I think we started at numbers. Can y'all see the screen? Can't? Okay. Why is it not giving me the... That's not the one I want. Who just joined? Nobody. Okay. I need the interlinear. And we started Numbers, what was it, 14 and 11? Numbers 14. Well, we're just do Numbers 14 because I need the chapter view anyway. Okay. Numbers 14 and 11 onwards. This little. Oh, 1 second. Change the audio here. Okay. All right. It said the word is are practiced by plugging the ancient Hebrew with the connectors. No sign Christ. That's perfect. That's perfect homework. You know what I'm saying? Go over your notes. If there's anything you don't have in the ancient Hebrew, that's what you want to get. That's the next step. All right. That's perfect. So we had Numbers 14 and we started at 11. Okay. So the first part we have is Waya Amar. Kyla, break that phrase down for me.
Wa is a preposition that means and or continuation.
Carry on.
You said ma, wa, ma.
Waya Amar. Can you see that on the right hand side?
Wa. Wait. Ya. Ya is. What do you call that? Wa means he.
Yep. It's another preposition.
And Amar is to say.
Exactly. Right. So what does the phrase mean?
And he said.
And he said. Perfect. Right. So Amar is a word which means to say. Now, where you see the word just written with no additions to it, that's what's known as the perfect tense, otherwise known as, basically said, the action is being completed. So otherwise known as the past tense, right? So where you see Amar, the verb itself and its variations, it means to say. Where you see Amar, it's past tense, so it means said, right? Then you have, what's the next word?
Yahweh.
Yahweh, which is what?
The Lord's name.
All right. Shalom to the sister Thakaya. The Lord's name, exactly, Yahweh. Yahweh. carry on. Yeah, I'm having y'all read it now. You got to that level. Go ahead.
Is this owl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, owl means when it's joined with.
This time it's joined with a noun. Yep.
It means unto.
Exactly. Perfect. It seems like I've been listening. Seems like I ain't teaching for nothing. Most High in Christ. Not playing. All right, go ahead.
Mashah.
Mm-hmm.
Mo is Moses.
Exactly. Mashah is Moses. Mm-hmm. We'll go with how would you pronounce the word first, do you think? I know it's a little tricky without the because the Assyrian or the modern Hebrew doesn't have the connectors, but it's to get an idea of if you would kind of recognize a word and how you think it might be pronounced.
Is that I'd?
I'd. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd is like oh.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Until like up to.
Yes. Yeah. Until that point, or it could be, yeah, as far as even up to a while, yeah, until, or as you said, I think up to is pretty much the not up to or up, yeah, up to. All right. Comes to the word ida, meaning to pass on, right? So it's like up to some form of transition until something changes, right? All right, so we have I'd, then we have this word ana. I haven't seen this word, so let's get it. All right, ana. So I need the H. All right, anar means befalls, or let him fall. Okay, let me get over here. Befall, or to have an deliver, happen, seek a quarrel. Okay. To approach. Okay, I'm gonna put to befall, ALL, or seek a quarrel. Right, so to be opportune, to meet, to encounter opportunely. Okay. Primitive root, perhaps rather identical with ana, through the idea of contraction and anguish, to approach, to meet in various senses. Okay. All right, what does it mean in this verse? So until it befalls, yeah, so it'd be like befall. We have Yana'a Tazanya. All right, let's go on this word. Na ataza. All right, so to despise or reject. So na ataza is a verb meaning to despise / reject. Right? So till it befalls me, until you come across, so this would be people that reject me, right? Also, how long will, so it's asking how long will people reject me? Okay, so I'd be until, up to, okay. Okay. To be fair, I'm not really focused on breaking it down. We're mainly getting vocabulary, so we'll leave it here. So, ha, we know as a preposition means what?
The.
Okay. This here, this ya at the end, this is another example of like ya as the personal pronoun, meaning me, right? Just another example. Then we have ha, then we have I'm. What does I'm mean?
People, nation.
Perfect. People, nation, like a clan. The word I means to be together, right? So people, nation, kinfolk, people that are together, right? A congregation. Okay. But in the simplest form, I just put it as typically people, or like you could do kinfolk, people, nations. Those are good. All right. Then we have hazah. All right. So the main word here is za, which means what?
This or that.
This or that. Okay. We have wa'id, ana, and how long until it befalls. La'a. Okay. Ya, amayanwa. All right. So the root here, I believe, is going to be aman, right? Which means to confirm or believe. Okay. So amayan would mean what? If aman means to, we'll use it in the context of believe. What does amayan mean? We did this.
Believe in the present tense, like
Not in the present tense. We did this earlier with kwayam, right? Like kwam means to rise. Kwayam means what?
To cause.
To cause to rise. Exactly. Causative, right? So amayan would be to cause to believe, right? Or cause to support. Okay. Well done. All right. So man was to confirm, support. Done 3 P's. I have. Let me take 1 P off. Or believe. Or deny. I need the wrong way around. I.e. I confirm, support, or believe. Okay. Almost. I've gone too far. Let's bring us back. All right, so so it's like, how long will they not believe? Right? Then you have baya. Baya. So what does ba mean? This preposition here. Right? In, on, or what? In, on, or with. I like to have those 3. Okay. So this would be like, how long will they not believe in me? Right? So baya, in me, or on me. Will they not believe on me? Same thing. But you'd use more in that context. Okay. You have bakal. So this translates it as with all, right? So in, on, or with. You could also do in all, right? The word here is kal, which means all, every, or any, right? Everything of the category I'm about to say. Then we have ha'athwath. The root here is ath, which means a sign, right? I believe it's like a light or a sign. Might give me awaf, but the word is ath, right? A sign, a token, a mark, a miracle. So in its basic form, it's a sign, right? That's what it's mostly translated as. Okay, so athwaf would be signs, right? Then we have ashar. What does ashar mean? Which. Okay, so the signs which Aishayath, right? The root here is Aisha, right? So where it has Aishayafya, or matter of fact, Aishaya, I think it's Aishaya, because the word is Aisha, right? So it's basically Aishaya Thaya. So the Thaya is when you have, when the subject you're talking about is I and it's something past tense. So it's I have done something, right? So, and then you have this ya here, which makes it causative. So this phrase basically means which I have caused to be done, right? If that makes, does that make, I'm not confused anybody? Which I have caused to be done. The thaya is past tense for I did something, okay? So Aisha, of course, we know means what?
To do or make.
To do or make, right? To do or make. So it's the signs which I have caused to be done. Or it translates as which I have performed. It's the same thing, okay? Then you have ba kwarabwa. Okay, so ba as a preposition means in, on, or with. So this would be like in. The word korab means to like meet or encounter. We go into this, or in the midst, right? So there's a bunch of kind of different definitions. In this one, so korab, we'll do korab as a noun, right? As a verb, it means like to bring an offering, to offer, to meet, to encounter at war, to encounter with hostility. It can mean all of those things, right? Korab as a noun would be like in the midst, right? In the middle, midst, or like within, right? If something's come together as the noun, you're looking at something within, right? The center, okay? It's even translated as bowels. Bowels are within, right? Your heart is within. In simplest form, it essentially means within, right? That's the most part. Within, among, you can do that. So let's do midst, among, or within. Okay. And that is verse 11. And we are on, we right towards the end of the class. All right, so we good to go. Are you writing it? Is there anything you're writing down, or are we good to close out? Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close the class. I'm gonna salute the brothers and the brothers who may be watching. So ye men of Israel, I Madiam. All right, so let me go ahead and salute y'all. All right, I Madiam Shabbath, I Madiam Barak, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham, Yajamata. All right, sister, stand. I Madiam. All right, I'm going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Ye men of Israel, I Madiam Shabbath, I Madiam, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alathan Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shema Alathan Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
I'm sorry, Christ. Yajah Masa, class dismissed. All right, the water, everybody for tuning in, everybody that participated in the class. Of course, as always, if anybody wants to, partake in this class, like you see, I'm saying the sister, the young man that came in, make sure you contact the school, I'm saying contact ISUPK UK, Gmail, Facebook, wherever you have our contact. Just let us know your name, the zone you're in, and the name of your camp leader. If you don't know who your camp leader is, you need to be getting in classes, all right? So you can attend this Hebrew class. All right, with that, Shalom, Israel, I'm saying, Lord in Christ.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General Yohana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're